Welcome to Destiny Camp.
There's a place you can go.
It's very cool.
Where you can grow. Everyone is here. So come on, come near. Your dreams will come true. We'll show you what to do. Find your space at my destiny place.
Come on in to my destiny place.
Come on, it'll be fun. There's lots of things to do.
Come on in to my destiny place.
My destiny place, where your dreams come alive.
Welcome to my Destiny Place. I'm Tammy. Hope you're ready for some fun. Here we go. Let's get moving at the Dryades YMCA.
Hello, I'm Trainer Lindsay, and this is Trainer Leah, and welcome to the Dryades YMCA. Today, we're going to do a quick workout for you, but first, we have to warm up. We're going to roll our shoulders back for a count of 5. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now to the front for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Now, let's warm up our lower extremities. Marching for 10. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Now for our first exercise, we're going to do a mummy walk. Trainer Leah, can you show us how to do that? Perfect. Mummy walks for 10. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job, everyone. Now, we are going to do mountain climbers. Climbing up a mountain for 10. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that we climbed up that tall mountain, we need to get down, right? So we're gonna do some ski jumps. Trainer Leah, can you show us how to do that? Perfect. Going down that mountain, ski jumps for 10. Begin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Trainer Leah, do you think we could go faster? I think we can go a lot faster. Starting with those mummy kicks for 10. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's get to that top of that mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down the mountain with our skis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo, that was such a great workout. As always, stretch and hydrate. See you next time.
That was absolutely fun. Remember to keep moving.
I love words. I love reading words. Come on, let's get ready for story time at the YMCA.
Hello, I'm Adella the Storyteller, and today I'm going to read to you a book called Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman. Now, Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her own head. But she didn't care if they were in books or movies or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. After she had heard them, and sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting part. Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc and wove a wicked web as Anansi the spider. She She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She went exploring for lost kingdoms. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining Dixie water, and Mowgli in the backyard jungle. Most of all, Grace loved to act out adventure stories and fairy tales. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She set out to seek her fortune with no companion but her trusty cat, and found a city with streets paved in gold. Or she was Aladdin, rubbing his magic lamp to make the genie appear. Sometimes she would get Ma and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. Well, one day Grace's teacher said they would do the play Peter Pan. Grace knew who she wanted to be. When she raised her hand, Raj says, "You can't be Peter, that's a boy's name." But Grace kept her hand up. "You can't be Peter," whispered Natalie. "He isn't black." But Grace kept her hand up. "All right," said the teacher. "Lots of you want to be Peter Pan, so we'll have auditions next week to choose parts." She gave them words to learn. When Grace got home, she seemed sad. "What's the matter?" asked Ma. "Raj says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl." "That just shows you what Raj knows," said Ma. "A girl can be Peter Pan if she wants to." Grace cheered up. Then later she remembered something else. "Oh, and Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black." Ma looked angry. But before she could speak, Nana says, "It seems that Natalie is another one who don't know nothing. You can be anything you want. Anything, Grace, if you put your mind to it." On Saturday, Nana told Grace they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and a train into town. The sign outside read Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet in sparkling lights. "Are we going to the ballet, Nana?" asked Grace. "We are, honey, but first I want you to look at this picture." Grace looked up and saw a beautiful young ballerina in a tutu. Above the dancer, it said, "Stunning New Juliet." "That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad," said Nana. "Her granny and me, we grew up together on the island. She's always asking me, do I want tickets to see her Rosalie dance? So this time, I say yes." After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet, dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. "I can be anything I want," she thought. On Monday, the class met for auditions to choose who was best for each part. When it was Grace's turn to be Peter, she knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. She had been Peter Pan all weekend, so she took a deep breath and imagined herself flying. When it was time to vote, the class chose Raj to be Captain Hook and Natalie to be Wendy. There was no doubt who would be Peter Pan. Everyone voted for Grace. "You were fantastic," whispered Natalie. The play was a big success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, "I feel as if I could fly all the way home." "You probably could," said Ma. "Yes," said Nana. "If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants." Amazing Grace.
Hi,
to teenagers. Today is all about doll makeovers.
For this doll, as you see, we've been doing a little bit of crochet, and you can do crochet hair on your doll too. First, we're going to start with head wraps, and these are both West African fabrics.
After the head wraps, I'm going to try to get a new style with these curlers and hot water. So let's get started.
I'm going to show you how I do my head wraps. This is one of my go-to styles, and it's what I usually choose when I'm just maybe going to something casual and maybe my hair is not done and I decide to put on a Ankara or a kente cloth head.
I'm going to happen it in the middle, trying to be equal here. Sorry, guys. And then happen it another way and do it is called a perimeter. Tie and tuck. It's a method that I'm not sure if my mom made it, but she's the one who taught it to me. So I really like to do it. So this is what I do.
It's really helpful, but sometimes I just do like whatever just comes to me. So right now I'm doing a bow. If you can't see it, I'm trying to see how I want to make it.
I'm pretty happy with the way mine turned out.
I had to start over because the bow, the fabric is actually really long for such a tiny doll head.
I finished my perimeter by tying it and just tucking it under the side. You see?
I changed my style and I tied it to one side and tucked it. And I really like how it turned out.
A little hack here is if you see something that's going a little bit wrong with it, you can just tuck it under and you won't really see anything.
Hi, I'm Frank D'Arcangelo. I'm the manager of Ray Francis Drum Center. We're here in Kenner, Louisiana. We've been here for 37 years. We try to help people with their instrument. That's what we do. We try to help you learn how to play. We help you choose the best instrument for you. Everyone has their preference. There is no best. The best instrument in the world is the one that you like. The trick is finding it, and that does take time. But you have to have the will to do it and just practice what you do every day, and you'll be good. The cool thing about playing percussion, it's anything that you can hit with your hands, sticks, that makes a sound. Anything. Tambourines, they all sound different, all of them. You can play congas. Anything that you can hit makes a different sound, except your mama's pots, don't do that. So over here you're looking at, we have all these drums, all these cymbals, tons of cymbals. Every one of them sounds unique and different, every one of them, even the ones that are exactly the same. So the best sounding drum, the best sounding cymbal, the best feeling drumsticks, all of this is the one that you like. So we have all these options, you have to find it. But the difference is, a great drummer can play on anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I learned that from those guys. So look up on the wall here. Mallets, brushes, just 300 and something drumsticks. They're all different. So you just find the ones that sound the way you like. Drum heads, tons of drum heads. They all sound different. The common thing is, which one is the best for you? They all sound good, and most people listening to you play can't tell you the difference. So the best thing I can tell you, what I've learned from my friends, is just play your instrument. Learn how to play, or you'll figure out all of this over time. Don't rush it. Honestly, the coolest thing of my day, every day, is hanging out with my friends talking about drums. I mean, I have work to do. I have to work on the computer and all of that, but my favorite part is talking to my friends about everything about drums. What they did last night, what they played, how they did this. We talk about the tension on the heads, of what they like, the sounds of the cymbals, and to learn from the greatest drummers in the world, which live in New Orleans. It's been unbelievable for me, and I just take and try to pass that on to everyone else. One other thing I learned from great drummers, you have to play every day. And sometimes I use the wrong word, I say practice. But I think if you play every day and incorporate practice into it, every day, it just becomes part of you. And you'll become a great musician. Don't practice fast. Nobody gets paid extra for finishing the song first. So practice slow every day. One day you'll wake up and you'll be able to play whatever you're practicing or playing faster if it needs to be. Good luck.
Pull out your pencil and paper. It's time to draw.
Hey guys, my name is Amario Andre from Amario's Art Academy. Today we're going to learn about the anatomy of a person and how we would draw it. So let's get started. Okay, so when you're thinking about drawing a character, all it is its basic shapes. So we're going to start off with drawing an oval for the head, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to draw the oval. So this would be the head. You can do a middle line for the symmetry of the face, and then you can do a line that goes across, sort of like a crosshair. So I usually do a little mark for underneath the oval that indicates the neckline. So we don't have to define anything yet because we're just doing basic shapes. So we'll just do a little mark for now. After that, we will draw the body. So there's several ways to draw the body. What I like to do is I do a little pizza shape, or I draw an oval. So I'm just going to draw an oval, and then I'm going to define that. So so here is the oval, and then let's draw a line in the middle, similar to the face. So something that is similar from the face to the body is the line of symmetry in the middle. But it doesn't have a line that goes across. But what it does have that will help you with your guideline for your body is sort of the rib line, wherever your rib line that you think it might be. So I'll draw the rib line in there. And then I'll start to draw a line at the top. This will help with the shoulders. So I'll go ahead and draw that line at the top. After that, what I'll do is start defining the sides of the body, so I can get more of a sort of an hourglass shape for the character. This will just help for later on. So now that I have the hourglass shape, I can start drawing where the legs are. So something Marvel does is they actually measure out their characters in head lengths. I believe the standard for Marvel is 7, and it goes to 8. It can go to 7, 7.5, 8, because Marvel characters are so tall. They're so very muscular and just bulky. So they're usually like taller, but let's do 7. I think that's a pretty good length. So I'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 7 head lengths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And what we can do to make sure that it's correct is we can draw the line that goes across, so we can make sure we put the foot the foot line at the bottom there. That will help us determine the length of the character. Alright, so once we're happy with the length, we put the little foot down for our character. We can start to do a little sketch of the legs. You don't have to completely do the legs, but I just did little markings that indicate where it might be. Something you can do at home, or if you have someone walking around your house, you can look at where their arms are naturally placed. So if your arm is to the sides of your legs, your hand is a little bit above your knee. I can do it right now because I'm sitting down, but your hand naturally sits above your knee. So for the arms, we kind of want to draw just simple lines for now. We don't want to draw the shapes for anything yet. Let's just draw simple lines. And we have a mental note that it goes a little bit above the knee, right? So we'll do little circles that indicate that the hands go above the knee. After that, so we're starting to get our basic shapes in there, right? So let's start to actually draw out the arms. So we can just do circles for the arms for now, and then we can draw around them, which is actually really cool. So if I do a circle for this arm, a circle for that arm, and all it is two circles. A circle for the top and sort of a circle for the bottom. It's more of a stretched out circle, but it's a circle. So once we have those two circles, you can start to trace out the outer side of it. So we start to get that shape in there. So we are pretty good on that. We have our arm shape. So let's start to do the same for the legs. So for our legs, let's do two circles, and we are good to go. That's literally it. So now what we want to do, we have the circles for the arms, we have the circles for the legs, but we need to actually start making this look more like a person. So let's have some reference nearby, have a person, have just someone standing, and let's use that reference and let's draw along. And you can draw along with me if you want. Okay, so I have the overall body shape, but now I'm going to actually start to define these features. So let's make this leg look a little bit better. Let's define the foot a little bit more, and etc., etc. So I'm going to touch up the hands a little bit more, make it more like a fist, and let's give him a neck. He needs a neck. Okay. Something you might want to do for the shoulders. The shoulders can be a tricky part for some people. Just make sure that the armpit and the arms have a decent amount of distance for them. So you have enough space there. If they don't have enough distance, if your armpit is all the way up here, then that's how you know you need to make the arms a little bit bigger, your shoulders a little bit bigger. So let's make sure we do that, and that's sort of why you draw little circles for the shoulders. It indicates how big your shoulders you might want to make, right? So we have our shoulders. I'll do little circles for the shoulders and just start defining different areas. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll give him some clothing. Once he has a basic shape in there, this is where a silhouette would be really useful. So you can draw out a silhouette, but we have our basic shape of our character. Now we just want to give him some clothes. So he's not just going to be this basic sort of mannequin, right? We want to make it our character. So you can actually just put clothes on top. So I'll give him a t-shirt, and I'll give it some wrinkles and stuff like that, make it a little bit better. Give him some wrinkles for the pants as well. Let's make it have some fancy shoes. Right, and all I'm doing is I'm going over the top. I'm following those basic guidelines for my character that we made, and I'm just drawing on top of it, making wrinkles, going over it. But it's sort of like tracing over your guidelines. That's why you make a guideline first, then you can trace over it. Okay, and all I'll do is I'll give him some eyebrows, and just quick lines, and the hair. Okay, and that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed how to draw a face and how that in tunes with anatomy. This was the Mario's Art Academy. Hope you guys enjoyed. Excelsior.
Thanks, Mr. Mario, for the cool lesson.
Hi everybody, my name is Dorothy Floyd. I want to go over a couple of things that we do to have good table manners. One thing that we do with good table manners is to sit straight up in your chairs. So there's no slouching, there's no kicking the chairs underneath the table, there's no rocking back and forth. You know, you're going to sit nicely with your feet firmly on the floor in your chair. Another thing that we're going to do is we are going to chew with our mouth closed. So no eating like a dinosaur and chomping down with your mouth wide open. Nobody wants to look at your food in your mouth. So you're going to keep your mouth closed and chew quietly. No slurping of the drinks. We don't want to slurp our drinks. Speaking of our drink, I've got my water right here. And my drink is going to go right above the spoon and the knife. Remember to say please and thank you. So if you're asking someone to pass, an item to you, then you're going to say, hey, can you please pass me the bread? Can you please pass me the bread? And then you follow by, thank you. Thank you for passing me the bread. How many of you know people that chew like a dinosaur? I think I know a couple of people that chew like a dinosaur. But do you think it's polite to chew like a dinosaur when you're at the table? I don't think so. So when you're done eating, you're going to ask if you can please be excused from the table. The plate. Everyone knows what the plate is for? The plate is for your food, right? So we have our plate that's for our food. I'm going to take a couple of these apples and I'm going to sit them on our plate. Okay? Because we have our plate here. So we want to put some things on our plate because that's where the food goes. Okay? So the next thing that we do when we come to the table is we're going to use our napkin. Right? What's the purpose of the napkin? The purpose of the napkin is to keep your hands, your face, and your clothes clean. So what we're going to do is there's two places that your napkin can go. It can either go right here underneath your chin. So you're going to tuck it inside your shirt right there and you're just going to let it hang down. Okay? And that helps, so like if you're drinking any juice or milk or water or anything like that, it's going to spill onto the napkin and not on your clothes. If you're eating any food, it's going to spill on the napkin. So let's just say, if you're an older kid and you're like 8 years old, you're going to take that napkin and you're going to put it in your lap because you're old enough to put it in your lap. So when you're eating and if your food falls, that food is going to land in your lap. So you're just going to keep your clothes clean, right? What are other reasons why we use a napkin? And when you're done eating, what do? You're going to wipe your hands. You're going to wipe your hands clean. You're going to wipe your face clean. If you have any crumbs or juice or anything that's on your face, you're going to wipe that off. Okay? So that's the purpose of our napkin. So now, let's talk about our fork. And where does the fork go? It goes on the left-hand side. How many of you know how to make an L? If you look at your hand, if you make an L, a big L, that's your left-hand side, and that's where the fork goes. Okay? So we're going to take this fork, and we're going to eat with our fork. How do you hold a fork? You hold a fork just like you hold a pencil or a crayon. You hold it in your hand. Make sure you have a firm grip. So when you are eating spaghetti, or if you're eating mashed potatoes, or you're eating eggs, anything that you're going to eat, you're going to pick it up with that fork. And why do we use a fork? So we don't have to use the hands. Dinosaurs use their hands. You know, they're like this, so they use their hands and they eat. They don't use forks, so we're going to use a fork. Now, we have our spoon. You hold the spoon the same way that you hold the fork, just like a pencil or a crayon. Okay? So your spoon, you're going to use for things that you scoop up. So if you have like beans or peas, or you can also do mashed potatoes. You could do applesauce. You could do ice cream. So many things that you can use with your spoon. So make sure that when you use your spoon, you hold it firmly. Okay, and where does your spoon go? Spoon goes on the right hand side. So if you make an L on the other hand, it's a backwards. You look at it, it's a backwards big L. Facing you, it looks like it's a L. But it's a backward L. If you hold your hands up and you look at it, that's your right hand. So it's going to go on the right hand side. Now, so we have our apples here. And they are cut up. They are considered a finger food. Do we use our fork with our apples? We could. We could poke our fork with our apples and pick it up like this. But would we want to do that? We don't want to do that because it's a big size, and whatever we have on our fork, we're supposed to stick the whole thing in our mouth. So it's not a bite size. This is a dinosaur size bite. Oh. So we're not going to do that. Okay? So we are going to take this, and it's considered a finger food. It's okay because it's not going to get our hands dirty or messy or anything. So you're going to take this, and when you bite into it, you're going to do a small bite-sized portion. How not to eat like a dinosaur. Take small bites. Chew your food well. And sit up straight. And be polite. Have a great day.
That's all the time we have for today. See you next time on My Destiny Place. Bye! Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Where you can grow.
Bye!
Everyone is here, so come on, come